Nathan Cole had learned long ago how to disappear while standing in plain sight. He moved through the glass corridors of Titan Dynamics like a shadow, quiet, efficient, invisible. People saw the neatly pressed shirts, the calm eyes, the permanent exhaustion that came from being a single father who slept 4 hours a night, but no one really looked at him. Especially not her. Elena Wright, CEO, billionaire, ice queen of the corporate world. The woman whose name alone could make investors tremble and competitors fold. She was brilliant, ruthless, controlled, and utterly blind to the man who made her empire run smoothly. Nathan had been her executive operations manager for 6 years. 6 years of solving problems before they reached her desk. 6 years of staying late so she could leave early. 6 years of picking up the pieces after her emotional detachment fractured teams and crushed morale. And 6 years of loving her in silence. He never expected anything in return. Not admiration. Not gratitude. Certainly not affection. He knew his place. A widowed single father with a 7-year-old daughter didn't belong in the world of power lunches and private jets. But what hurt wasn't that Elena didn't love him. What hurt was that she didn't even see him. "Nathan, cancel my afternoon," she said one morning without looking up from her tablet. "And remind legal I want the merger documents revised by tonight." "Yes, Ms. Right," he replied, voice steady, though his phone buzzed in his pocket. A message from Lily's school. She had a fever again. He hesitated for half a second, just enough to matter. "I'll need to leave by 6 today," he added carefully. "My daughter." Elena finally looked up, irritation flickering across her sharp features. "You're leaving early. It's for Lily. I've already arranged coverage." She waved him off. "Handle it. Just don't let it affect your performance." That was Elena's version of compassion. That night, as Nathan sat beside Lily's bed, holding her small hand while she slept, he wondered how he had allowed himself to become so small. How he had accepted being taken for granted not just by Elena, but by life itself. Things began to change the day Clara Bennett walked into Titan Dynamics. She was a consultant, hired temporarily to oversee a restructuring project. Warm smile, confident posture, eyes that actually noticed people. The opposite of Elena in almost every way. Clara noticed Nathan immediately. "You must be the man everyone secretly relies on," she said during their first meeting, extending her hand. "I've heard your name more than the CEO's." He blinked, caught off guard. "I doubt that." She smiled wider. Modesty too. Dangerous combination. From that moment, something shifted. Clara asked his opinion, valued his insight, thanked him, actually thanked him, when he stayed late. When she found out he was a single father, she didn't treat it like an inconvenience. "You're doing 2 full-time jobs," she said once, handing him coffee after a brutal meeting. "Don't let anyone make you feel like that's nothing." No one had ever said that to him before. Elena noticed the change slowly. At first, it was small things. Nathan no longer hovered near her office. He stopped anticipating her needs before she voiced them. He left on time. He smiled more, just not at her. Then she saw them together. Nathan and Clara, laughing quietly near the elevator. Clara's hand brushed his arm, natural and familiar. Nathan didn't pull away. Something twisted sharply in Elena's chest. It made no sense. Nathan was an employee. Reliable. Predictable. Safe. He had always been there, always available, like a piece of furniture she'd never bothered to admire. So why did the sight of another woman looking at him like that feel like betrayal? Elena told herself it was irritation. Distraction. The disruption of routine. But when she found herself watching Nathan instead of her presentation during a board meeting, when she felt an unfamiliar heat rise in her chest as Clara leaned close to whisper something to him, Elena was forced to confront a truth she had avoided for years. She had assumed Nathan would always be there. And now, for the first time, she wasn't sure. The realization came too late. Clara didn't rush him. She didn't pressure him. She simply existed in his life like sunlight, warm, steady, undeniable. She met Lily, brought her books, sat on the floor and listened to her stories. When Lily smiled at her with shy approval, something inside Nathan finally broke open. One evening, after walking Clara to her car, Nathan stood under the streetlight, heart pounding. "I need to be honest," he said. "My life is complicated." Clara met his gaze without hesitation. "So is mine. I don't scare easily." And in that moment, Nathan realized what he had been missing wasn't love, it was being chosen. Elena felt him slipping away like sand through her fingers. She tried subtlety first. Compliments. Invitations to late dinners. Asking about Lily, too suddenly, too awkwardly. Nathan answered politely. Professionally. Distantly. The distance terrified her. One night, long after the office had emptied, Elena stood alone in her penthouse, staring at the city lights, and admitted something she had never allowed herself to feel. She had loved Nathan. In her own way. Quietly. Possessively. Without ever earning it. And she had lost him by assuming he would wait forever. The breaking point came when she saw Clara and Nathan together at a charity gala, Nathan in a tailored suit, confident, alive. Clara's hand rested comfortably on his chest. Lily stood between them, holding both their hands. They looked like a family. Something Elena had never offered him. Her chest tightened painfully. Regret surged, raw, consuming, merciless. She approached them, heart pounding. Nathan, she said softly. He turned, surprised. Ms. Right. The formality stung more than she expected. I didn't know you'd be here, she said. Clara smiled politely, sensing the tension. We should check on Lily, she said gently, stepping away. Elena watched her go, then looked back at Nathan. I made a mistake, she said, the words unfamiliar and heavy. I took you for granted. Nathan studied her face, really studied it, for the first time in years. The vulnerability. The fear. I know, he said quietly. Silence stretched between them. I see you now, Elena whispered. Nathan's expression softened, but there was no hope in his eyes. Only acceptance. I needed to be seen when it mattered, he replied. Not when someone else showed you my worth. That was the moment Elena understood the true cost of her neglect. You don't lose people when they walk away. You lose them when you teach them they don't matter. Nathan didn't leave Titan Dynamics immediately. He transitioned smoothly, professionally. But when he finally resigned, the office felt emptier than it ever had. Elena watched him go with a smile she didn't deserve. He walked toward a life where love wasn't silent, where appreciation wasn't conditional, where another woman had shown him what he was worth simply by choosing him, fully, openly, without regret. And Elena Wright, CEO of everything except her own heart, learned the cruelest lesson of all. Some people don't leave because they stop loving you. They leave because you never loved them back the way they needed, until it was too late.